All right, so what I've got here is the stock air cleaner for the Bronco. Wanted to do something a little different. It's missing the snorkel that comes off the front with a little vacuum canister underneath it. And everything else we've done on the truck has been kind of custom anyway, so let's do some stuff to this. I need to make a new snorkel or some type of a elbow or something cool that looks stock, but it's not stock, and it fills up this hole. All right, now that I got the pattern made, let's transfer this over to a piece of steel and see how that looks. Get it cut out. I outlined the hole that's right here, and then I made some type of a design that kind of doesn't look round and it doesn't look square. Decided what I wanted to do, and I drilled those, or then I cut that out. Now I need to bend this, which I started doing before I started making the video. Bend it, and I still need to make sure that it fits. Right now you can see that it's not fitting. We want to make that fit better so that it can be bolted down. And then after that, we're going to take some type of a pipe, and I've got a little one that I kind of, smash just a little bit in the vise to not make it look round like a piece of exhaust tubing that it is. Put that there maybe, and then, well, I really don't know what we're doing, so let's just keep playing with it. So I've got a rear end chunk here. This is a brand new Ford 9-inch chunk, or housing, that I used to make my rear ends with. It looked like it was pretty close to being the right part or right shape, and my workbench is completely jumped up at the moment, and this happened to be laying on it. So in true hot rod form, we're going to use this and try to get some type of a bend in this piece of metal. We're sneaking up on it, but it looks like it needs to come down quite a bit more. And I have a lot of stuff in the shop that I can bend this on. And we may end up using something else in a minute, but we're getting close and we're sneaking up on it. Now look what we've done. I got my finger on the side just like we did a while ago, and it's not jumping up on me. So I believe that with a thin gasket, we'll be able to get an airtight fit. Now we need to shape this and make sure it's uniform. On this side right here, you can see it's kind of like a shoulder patch on a uniform or something. It just doesn't look like we just took some square metal or some flat metal. It looks like it was actually made for this purpose. And that's what we're trying to do. Trying to fix something that's broke and make it look like we took a little bit more time to do so. All right, just got through putting it on the sander. It fits the contour very well. I need to go around the edges, get the burrs off of it, and then we'll paint the back of it with some dye and go ahead and relocate our holes to screw it down, and then the opening that we're going to cut out. Tool layout compound. let that dry, and then we'll make our marks. All right, so let me do my best at centering this in the area that we need to cover. I've got it sprayed on the back side, and now we're going to take our awl, and then we're going to trace around the outside edges of it, and then we're going to locate where our screw holes are. I don't know if you can see it or not, but we made our impression, and now all we need to do is drill some of our holes to mount it, and then we'll drill the big hole out, and then we can weld in our piece of exhaust tubing if that's what we want to do. So far, we've spent absolutely zero on steel and yeah. All right, go ahead and bolt this down just a little bit with some little socket head Allen screws. I curved the back of this so it fits. I'll put that right there, and then we'll tack this in place. Tack that in place and see what we think about it. All right, so I've got this tacked on, and I did it all on the inside. That way I can go around the outside with a seam sealer and make it super small and make it look like it was all one piece and not welded together. And it won't be that much more work doing it that way. This is not a structural piece, but it is welded really good on the inside. Let's go lay it down and take a good look at it. You can see the direction that we went. Now it looks like it's supposed to be there. We can play off of this with, like I said, a tube, a cold air intake, K&N air filter, an elbow that comes off of that. We could put a screen over it. Yeah, there's so many things we can do from this point on. Don't know what I want to do yet, but all I know is that it doesn't look like there's anything missing anymore. So now I've got to go through and take out a lot of little dings and dents where this thing is falling off of the fender while it was getting air cleaner installed and over the years and all that kind of stuff. And then we're going to prime it and paint it to match the motor with the Ford blue. And I think we've got a winner. So from here, we can play off of this and put a cold air intake system on it. We could put a K&N filter off of it so it'll be double filtered. Hey, it's endless what we can do. But I need to run some seam sealer around this, smooth it out really nice, paint all of the air cleaner a Ford blue, make a gasket for the part that we made. Okay, right here I'm taking some body filler and going around the area that we joined the pipe together with just to give it that one piece look. I just used my finger and went around to give it a nice little contour. I'll sand off what I don't need, get some primer on it and some paint. All right guys, so I've done all the body work on the air cleaner. I've actually painted the inside of it, and I went ahead and did a metallic silver, kind of an aluminum color. It was bare metal when they did it from the factory, and it had rusted and had goop and all kinds of stuff on it. So I cleaned it up really, really good, waxed and greased it. It looked, man, you could probably eat off of it. But I went ahead and sprayed it with some silver. I'll show you that later. I went ahead and taped it up. But the bodywork is done on the top side. I did the direct to metal primer on it, etching primer, and I've got the lid that holds the air cleaner also done. So now we're gonna go ahead and squirt some blue on there. All right, we got our paint can loaded up. Let's give this thing a good shake before we head outside and paint. Now I went ahead and got the VHT blue that matches the motor. I ordered some base coat, clear coat paint to paint this with, and I sent them a sample of my spray. Man, it's like night and day difference. I'm gonna go ahead and see how good I can lay down some of this rattle can. Speaking of rattle cans, let's rattle it. That'll do it. That's like 30 minutes worth of shaking right there in about 10 seconds. Some of you guys think it's overkill to do that, but let me tell you, I shake a lot of paint cans in my past. Now I don't. I let this old thing do it. Let's go see if we can lay down some slick blue. What a beautiful day outside. It's a great day to have all the doors open, but we don't. All right, let me get up underneath it first. Made a huge difference by shaking this thing. It's ready to go. Just a nice tack coat to begin with, and then we'll come back and hit it hard in a minute. Now, usually when I'm painting, I like to start in the air, go over my part, and stop on the other side. I don't start in the center because that's just gonna concentrate a big old run. So start and go across and stop. All right, let's not get in a hurry. Let's let that dry, and then we're gonna come back and get it again. Let the paint stay out here and stay warm. First coat's down, and it is just a tack coat. I tell you, that old thing was pretty beat up. We got all the dents out of it. Did all our little body work. Should look okay. Not bad for a rattle can. Let this dry up. All right, let's get some gasket material, trace around the part that we made, and do a rough cut. Get this gasket cut out and see if we can't get it to look like a store-bought part that would have came from the factory this way. Just take your time. Doesn't matter what you use. The part was already fitting nice and tight. We just want to make it look like it's not metal to metal. So I think it all came out pretty nice so far. Don't forget to leave your comments below. Let me know what you think about it. Remember, everybody that leaves a comment goes in once a month for a drawing for a lot of free stuff from Spanky's Hot Rods and Customs. The comments mean a lot to me. The likes and the thumbs up mean a lot, and so does your subscription, which is free, by the way. I tell you, I've got stuff everywhere. I've got boxes and stuff all on my workbench. Anyway, you just saw we cut a gasket out of this gasket material. Didn't really need to, but it's just that much more of a little bit of detail between the colors. And you see I painted the inside of it. Didn't go crazy, but painted the inside of it with some high heat silver. Painted this little snorkel right here with some silver. And just to give it some detail, painted all the same color. Everything kind of gets lost. Like unwrapping a Christmas present. Did the same thing with this. It was all rusted. Went ahead and cleaned it really good, waxed and grease, and then painted it silver. You're not gonna be able to see it unless you flip it over, and it's just that much more of a little bit of detail. And we painted the vacuum line right here. I went ahead and painted it silver, and then it's gonna have a rubber hose over it, but then there'll be a little bit of silver before it gets to the blue where the hose goes up, and it'll have the hose clamp on it. So just a little bit of detail. All right, let's see if I can find the air breather and we'll put it together. It's a good feeling when you're putting an air cleaner on something, isn't it? It means you're almost done. Really don't want to lay this on its back yet. Just trying to be careful with it. Well, there we go, guys. I know my table is all junky, but you can kind of see what just a little bit of work will do. It's custom, but yet stock. And it's ready to go on the Bronco, and it gives it just that little bit of custom touches. All right. Let's go take it in there and see what it looks like. All right, so there we go. I've still got to make an aluminum bracket to go from that bracket down to the fender. I really hate drilling holes in there, but it's gonna have to be some kind of form and function. But hey, there you go. We took something that was junk, made it into something cool for a little bit of nothing. We still got to do some type of a snorkel coming off of this over to the cold air, or put a screen in here, or we can put a K&N filter on the end of it. One way or the other, it's going to be cool. And yep. Let me know what you think. I know you guys, some of you guys do not like the Bronco. You like hot rods, but hey, this is all cool art, automotive artwork being built. Well, guys, it's not much longer before we're going to take this thing for a spin around the block. Y'all been with me almost all the way on the build of this in the last 2 years or so on YouTube. We've got another one that, you know, we've started, and we're going to catch up on that one, but I didn't want to throw but one Bronco at you at a time. Mostly hot rods here at Spanky's Hot Rods and Customs, but I'd put this in there with the category of a custom. Yes, it's a four-wheel drive. Yes, it's kind of out of my wheelhouse. But that's why I decided to do this project, is because it is out of my wheelhouse and I needed to be challenged with something. We've got a lot of cool stuff coming. We got a couple of 32 Ford builds fixing to get started, and we're gonna carry on and finish that Porsche. And we've got some other stuff on the channel that you should be interested in, not because of what it is, but because of what we're gonna do along the way and learn together. So as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. Head on over to Spanky'sHotRods.com. Buy yourself some t-shirts. Help support the channel that way, and you actually get something back at the same time. If you're through watching, get out in the garage and go build something. See you on the next episode. Spanky's out.